No problem.
Oh yeah, what's the name? Is the name of the track. What's the name? Okay. Okay, hi, it's William Montana, aka Sweely, and we're in my studio in Barcelona. I'm gonna show you a track breakdown of a track I did like 5 months ago, more or less. And yeah, the arrangement is kind of cool. I think there's enough to talk about. And let's get to it. So my speakers are actually plugged to my mixer and my mixing table. So what I'm doing is that one of the outputs, stereo output of my sound card is going into a stereo channel of my mixer, and the stereo output of my MPC is on another stereo channel of the mixer. And basically, they're synced by MIDI clock, and they sound like they are in both channels of the mixer. So first of all, I love to do my drums on the MPC. I think the MPC sounds wide and punchy enough without adding too much processing on the drums and EQ, whatever. I'm usually happy with how my MPC sounds for the drums. Also, you have to choose the right samples, that's mandatory. So it's a track that I really like. It's not like the track that makes me feel the most emotions. It's not like the track I prefer of mine, even if I think it's very well produced. And the arrangement is actually kind of complex, not very complex. It's still a dance music track, but yeah, I mean, I chose this one because I think there's enough to talk about on the arrangement, and yeah, that's all. It sounds good also. I made it sound good, I think. But yeah, even if it's not the track that makes me feel the most, still a good dance track that I play in the live set, and that usually works. What is the name of it? I always make this comparison. I'll check it out, okay? Puzzle.
Enigma?
Enigma, exactly. That's why. Thank you. The solution. I try to do as much as I can there in the live view, and then I go to the arrangement. Now, like the arrangement is, I think, is an enigma in the way that, like the loops I did here would not give me that much clue for the arrangement enigma. So the big picture of the track. So here, started with like intro bits, the MPC, just the drums, few elements of the track. This is the beginning. Then here, make the bass arrive, and I more percussions also, as you can hear. So we get into the real deal, more or less. Here, I let some vocals arrive, still make evolving this part with the same bass. Okay. Now, here, kind of a little chorus. Here, same part with the vocal, same bass, with a bit more elements. We'll see that later. Another chorus with no vocals. Then here, that's kind of a bridge actually. Then, okay, little bridge that comes to the second part. And this is the second part. Arriving to the second part, developing the second part, that is finishing here. Little bridge to come back to the first part. And then still develop a bit here. It's kind of, this part is actually looking kind of the same of the first one. It's kind of I would say, it's the part where a DJ would make his transition. And then the end, more or less. It's okay? So, starting with the intro. No bass, just the drums, a few percussions and elements of the future of the track. you know, it's always good to make intros, I think, and to not start with everything. It's not, you know, it's like when you're speaking to someone, you kind of want to give a little mystery before he starts to know you. I guess a lot of people are doing this, even if sometimes I like to start very intensively. But yeah, this one was kind of chill at the beginning. So just some drums. Up. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so like just the drums that are on the MPC. Actually, I'm gonna make you listen just the drums that I have on the MPC that are very simple. I just have the kick and the clap. This is what happens on the MPC. All the rest is on Ableton. Again, the kick and the clap here, so I'm able to put them loud and in front of the mix without them crushing the whole signal on Ableton. So yeah, usually here I have like kick, clap, hi-hat, sometimes few percussions, but not that much. I also love to do a lot of more weirder percussions on Ableton. So yeah, starting like this, a little synth, some little melodies here that I've made with Diva, actually, the synth, the plugin Diva, that I recorded on audio channels, so I could save CPU also, and so the signal is stable. So I don't have like chorus problems or LFO problems on the preset. The signal will stay like this. So Diva recorded through audio, up with this little whap sound, up. So yeah, start like this, bam. Fair enough. Then the second part is the introduction of the bass. So there you go. Okay, the bass arrives. Now, what I actually love to do in arrangements, I love transition effects. I think they are good, and I actually think that they make you finish tracks easier, even if you don't have a lot of elements on your track to make a lot of variations. Transitions effect can help you a lot with this. Even if I gotta say now, I try to get a bit out of all these transitions effects to be a bit more sober and chill with the arrangement. Now, I would say this was a period where I was using them a lot. And again, when I was talking about those clues, and those enigmas that our arrangement can be. Now, so this was a moment where I was using them a lot. When I'm talking about transition effect, I'm talking about risers, crash, reverse crash, kind of classic ones, FXs obviously. So what I like to do is that instead of having one track per element with like audio FX crash or audio with like audio reverse crash or clips or FXs. I mean, in this track, for example, I use so much of them that if I would like use one channel per element for transition effects, I would have like 50 more channels. I actually put them into a drum rack. Up. Okay, so I actually put them into a drum rack here. So this is actually the kick of my MPC. So if I want to do like kick variations, I would like do them here, you know, like. Okay, that's one thing. I also have the clap of the MPC if I want to do some variations of the MPC on the arrangement without having to program it on the MPC. The same clap down here, that I can actually have fun with it through the arrangement. And then loads of fallers, risers, crash, reverse effects, whatever. And that's mostly, so I'm actually putting all in the drum rack so I can have them all under my fingers and add them very quickly through the arrangement. As you can see, so those are my transition effect channels. And if you look at the arrangement, like this is all the MIDI of all the transitions effects that are leading to few parts, to different parts, or that are make some loopy parts a bit more exciting with kind of some ear candy that makes you still, that is make it still entertaining, you know? As I was saying, this was the intro. And then MIDI with the transition effects. And then we arrive to the bass. First glimpse of the bass. Yeah, so the first 16 bar of the bass, from here to here, okay? We here. Added a bit more effects and transition here to make it a bit more fun. And we're arriving to the hi-hat parts where it gets a bit more groovy. If we solo the transitions up, and we arrive to the bass. So all this without having like, I don't know, 15 channels of transitions effect, all this in the drum rack, and I just being playful, pop, you get it. Like for example, yeah, here I think I added a few snares that are actually, where are the snares? Yeah, like this. And basically when I'm doing this, I usually play them live, and then I rearrange them a bit with the mouse. But well, that was not exactly the same thing, obviously, but you get the idea. I do this in a lot of tracks. Again, put all the stuff into a drum rack, allows me to make some funny sounds easy without having a lot of channels. And then arriving to the more groovy part, hi-hats are coming, makes the groove a bit more energetic. So these are the top loops that I've made for this track. I guess there is, yeah, this is like, I think it's a sound from my CS2X, a little clap that is coming from some kits that is here, that I've recorded through audio. Yeah, then some hi-hats that I've put it into a drum rack, yes. Yeah, just a bit more kind of 808-ish hi-hats. Then a little top loop. The top loop at the beginning is actually like this. Okay, but you know, I just put it into the beat mode, then go into the transient mode, if I can call it mode. Then you go into those little arrows, and you know, you choose this little arrow upper, and you can actually control the length of the transients. So this is like the normal transient, and I've just shortened and a bit, so it's a bit more clear and it doesn't take too much space on the groove. And then a little hi-hat loop that actually lived as it is, didn't even processed it, didn't even made it thinner. So yeah, again, with this transient thing, I think a lot of people know that already, huh? But without it, it would be like this. It's kind of, I don't know, you know, it's kind of taking too much space. I mean, it could work, I guess. Now I really like tight drums, so I can have as much space as I want for the bass or for other percussions or for other synths. I really love tight drums. It's sometimes something, sometimes I would like to have more bigger drums, punchy, clubby thing, but I don't know, I'm always getting back to tight drums. I think it's the thing that makes me the more comfortable with, and then you can make the track bigger with other elements. And if I wanted to add more highs, whatever, I would add a more open hi-hats. But for the claps and stuff, all those little loops that you add, I prefer to really tight them and then control. If I want to add more stuff, to control it with my drums or like with drums, like drum racks, whatever. But here, at one point, it wasn't even the case. I think the drums are kind of tight. So again, before arriving to the parts where there was the hi-hats and stuff. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay. So here we are, arriving to the hi-hats, bam. Still the same bass, still the same elements of the intro, still the same wah sound. Again, in this part where the hi-hats arrive from here to here, I've added also a bit more FXs here. So, hi-hats coming. One bar. A bit more FXs. More FX. Cool. So yeah, again, a little drop-ish vibe. Some few elements. I always actually add some more FXs and ear candy inside the loops also. So 4 transitions from parts to parts, and also while the 2 to 4 bars are, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, if it's 2 or 4 bars, whatever. I just feel it, but yeah, I always add a bit of FXs. So now, yeah, now we're gonna arrive to another part where there is gonna be more synths. Added this little tom feel to arrive to this new part. And then arriving to the other part. And I also did a little bass variation. So, up, oops. Okay. Little variation here. Up, so we arrive to palm loop. Okay, now arriving to, okay, again, developing a bit more this intro bass parts. So this is a plugin that I really like, that a friend told me about it. It's called PG8X. And I've just added some little popcorny-ish sounds from it. So you're gonna hear them now. With those kind of 132 signature things, so it kind of rolls great. So yeah, again, little bass variation and the popcorn. And a very famous vocal, obviously, this Eyes Eyes Baby track, rap track. I felt kind of guilty using those, but on the live set and on the dance floor, it's fun. Again, it's not a track that makes me the most emotional or that brings out of me the deepest feelings. But yeah, it's functional. It's very functional and it works great. So yeah, I did this little Ice Ice Baby in a response of those little popcorn sound, square wave from the PG8X. Ice Ice Baby, okay, you get it. Little variation here. Ice Ice Baby, okay. Good. Now, developing again this part. Again, a little transition effect. So again, now in the loop, added a bit of variations with my drum racks. Up, got it. Transition. Now, developing a bit more, I've added, so I think I did it also with the Arpeggiated, but I've recorded it through audio. I don't remember why, but whatever, it's here. I've called it EDM because it kind of sounds like an EDM sound. Like a bit, cliche, fun for the dance floor. So yeah, that is also kind of a response, another response to the popcorn sound. So. Okay, you get the idea. I'm sure I've added a bit more effects here. Yes, I did. Snare, some kind of snare, snare rolls, I would say. Okay. Yeah, so there you go. I've kind of made this very dry transition to it with, and I've just like made a little variation on the EDM-ish the EDM-ish sound, and I've just put this kind of, I don't know how to say it in English, but like it's called ternaire in French. Ternaire signature. Ternaire signature. I don't know how to say it in English. There you go. So again, the drums are in the MPC. So if I want to cut the drums and leave like a little break drop on the Ableton, I just mute the drums here and put them again for the next part. Oops. Now, vocals. So, took a bit off of the EDM synth and the popcorn sound, got back to the basic, same bass, to introduce the vocals, kind of, to make some space for the new information that are the vocals. Put it also out some hi-hats. So yeah, so the vocal can, it's the first time we're gonna hear them. So yeah, let's put them. Let's make him breathe on point. Let's make the information clear. So also the vocals are from a track. I should mention the track. It's a house music track, and I've used this AI stem separation, to have the vocal cleaned and to use them because I loved the vocals. Oh yeah, the track is called Kerouac Folk Guitars. This is where the vocals are coming from, and you should go and check this track because it's a very nice track, and the artist is also a very good artist. So I took him his vocals because I love vocals and I love his vocal. I love those vocals, and I was like, yeah, let's use them, As I also took the Ice Ice Baby thing, I think I took it from AI, or maybe I found it in a cappella on YouTube, I don't remember. But yeah, important to mention the track, and the track is, the original track is also very sick, so don't hesitate to go and check it out. Arriving to the vocals. Bit of FX here. Cool. Now, another transition effect, putting out the kick, made a little variation on the bass. I've made like a little variation on this sound. Yeah, this sound. And this sound. And I've made them respond to each other in a cool way to make kind of a bass variation. All right, bam, with for sure a little transition effect. Again, I kind of it was a moment where I abused from it. but at least the track were made easily and working great on the dance floor. Yeah, so there you go. Vocal. Taking out the kick. Cool, now arriving to, so put it back some hi-hats to develop this part with the vocal. What did I add here? I have added, so this was actually from the beginning, it's kind of a electro house classic sound that was used a lot. Even if I'm not really into this style anymore, it was a moment where I was doing a lot of stuff like this. So yeah, it's actually one of my favorite presets from this synth that is called Podolsky, and the preset is called Cutting Lead. Cutting Lead. And yeah, I just added like a little, you know, at the beginning of each 4 bars, adding a little one of those. You get it. I added some chords. Those are some. So yeah, again, we're entering the hi-hat part with the vocals. We want to, you know, I've just like wanted to add more stuff to make it entertaining. So these are some chords I've added that were not before. So. So yeah, actually very simple chords, like very classic, funky chords. I could definitely do them myself, but I think the sample was sounding very good. It's actually from Splice, from a pack called Ja-Funk. It's yeah, it just sounds like, you know, what you want. No that much of experimentation on the sound, just funky chords and whatever. I did a, yeah, like a little variation with, so yeah, just like made a little harmony and then like one note from it. I mean, like the sample is sounding like this. But I just took this, and yeah, I just like did a little harmony from here. Yep, then same here, another Ja-Funk. Yeah, made a little riff from it. Good. Here, yeah, little response, groovy thing. And yeah, that's for the chords. And also here I made a little, yeah, just to, yeah, at the end of those chord fills, added a little, again, another Ja-Funk. Ja-Funk sample that yeah, there you go. So, hi-hat, same bass, chords. No time for velvet lines. No shame, go chains, shady bars, fuck guitars. Good, now. So this was the first vocal parts. There you go. Developing the vocals. Brought back this EDM thing, still the same chords. Took off the vocals, still adding some ear candy here, little fills and affixes. Cool. That makes it kind of a chorus. I mean, it's kind of a chorus after the vocals. Cool. So yeah, putting back this EDM thing. Also made a little riff at the, so in this part made a little synth riff with this. Yeah, made a little synth riff from this at in the middle of this. That I've recorded with the keyboard and with some, and then I've recorded the MIDI and then recorded audio here. Cool little chorus, bam bam bam. Riser. Going back to the second part of the vocal. Good. Arriving with the hi-hats. Took off the chords. Now I actually had a lot of fun in this part, so still some FXs, and I had some fun recording more Podolsky synth lines. Kind of as a response of the vocal. Yeah. 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 Up, ethic, continuing, developing. Yeah, again more synth and as a response to the vocal. Then second part of the second verse. Re-putted the chords, added just a bit more chord that I made with this Diva preset. I don't know what's the name, but it's called Oops Squetch. Yeah, just to support a bit more of those. Up. Do, do, do. Then here, another synth line. I've actually got a bit crazy with this and kind of made a dissonant, more jazzy thing. Vocal. Yeah, kind of funky, this one. Recorded too. I love this preset because you can go very up in the highs and very down in the low with the, I mean, I could have programmed it, but it's already done like this. It's very elastic and I love this preset. So yeah, made two of them like this. All right. Good. Arriving to the chorus again. So chorus, the chorus that is a bit more developed than the first chorus. Added those chords. And this little riff. Another variation of the bass before the second part of the chorus. Now it's one of my favorite part of the track actually. I've changed the melody of the bass for this part before the second part. There's going to be a second part, but changed the melody of the bass, kept the same chords, and the bass is, so yeah, the bass was like this before. Okay, we will remember that. And now, all right, with the whole thing, makes it a bit more epic. Same lead. Going into the second part, now very dry break with just the vocal. Vocal. And now second part. Okay, so now added this kind of arpeggiated bass. In the club, this part works very nicely because you have this very dry thing, and then you have the bass that is kind of hitting you with a strong arpeggio, and the bass sound is also very. The bass is. I love this preset. Actually, I'm gonna give you this preset because I fucking love it. I just called 80s actually on Diva. And the sound is very punchy. So yeah, this part works very nice. You just have the kick and the bass that is kind of hitting you with some subs. You really feel it. Brought back this ice baby thing. Made a bit of some 132 sound signature variation. I don't know if it's called song signature, but whatever. Oops. Yeah. Okay, we're in the second part. Again, transitions. And now, oops. Yes, brought back this popcorn sound, a bit more sound here. Brought back some hi-hats. Yeah, and the popcorn sound that was in the beginning. Bam. All right. Little bass variation here, and we're gonna enter into the more fuller part of the second part with more hi-hats, more. Yeah, did a little variation here also. Cool. Brought back some chords that were in the beginning, and more sounds, more hi-hats. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So just developing a bit more this part. I've also added a bit more percussion to this part from the drum racks to support it a bit to support the bass a bit better. That is actually more arpeggiated. Yeah, I made this variation on every start of the loop. Cool. So again. Again, a little variation here from the Podolsky synth that I love. I really love how it sounds with all of those sounds. And the little popcorn sound. More chords. This synth recorded with Podolsky. Cool, this is the second part. Now, made a little bridge here to get back to the first part. So took off the bass, kept those, some chords, kept the little lead recorded with Podolsky, no hi-hats, no nothing. Let's listen to it. Oops, oops, up. Variation. And getting back to the first part. Introducing the bass, variation here. And that's kind of all actually. This is kind of looking as the same as the first part. Same vocals. I think I've actually put those little Podolsky sample that I've recorded. Yeah, it's kind of looking at the same parts. Got it. And now, again, after the vocal part, really kind of the same chorus that was in the first part of the first time. Yeah, we already listened to this, and then redid this little bass variation here that is more epic. Also really cared about like how the synth, so this one. Okay, made the same with the bass. So it makes a little gap. It's, you know, the bass and melody are more compact, better for the ear, better for the informations you want to give. Clap. Ending.
No shame, gold chains,
Shady bars, fuck guitars. And the end of the track. The job is done. Breakdown track is done. I've actually had a lot of fun arranging this one. It seems like there's a lot of elements and a lot of stuff to do here, but when you have the clues that are given through the fact that you did already a lot here, it goes very quick. I think I did this in like 3 to 4 hours, more or less, because I had already a lot of stuff to do, and I knew already where I wanted to go. Where sometimes you have way less elements. There's a lot of elements here, but sometimes the less elements and the harder it is for me to arrange a track because I don't have enough because it doesn't give me any direction. So here I had already a lot of direction. I had a lot of fun to produce it and to arrange it especially. And yeah, again, this is just one style of arrangement. I also love to do way simpler arrangements and a way more clubby arrangement, I would say, more loopy stuff. This is definitely not a loopy arrangement, but it's a style of few tracks that are more pop music inspired, I would say, and that works great on the dance floor and that brings warmness. So yeah, guys, I hope I've been clear enough, and I hope that the force may be with you for making music.